Genesis 2:5.
What was the earth like before the flood? Here.
What was the earth like before the flood? The Bible says there was no rain before the flood. Now that means that there were no nuclei in the air, condensation nuclei, for a drop of water to condense on. Water does not condense on itself. It has to. It stays steam. But if it has a condensation nuclei, it will begin to condense on that little microparticle, and then it will start condensing on itself. It produces raindrops. Clouds come about the same way. If there were no condensation particles to produce rain, there were no condensation nuclei to produce clouds. Woke up in the morning every day to a bright, sunshiny day. No rain, no clouds. That sounds pretty good. Maybe the temperatures were nice and even, everything else. We'll get into that.
They didn't have to wear clothes.
They didn't have to wear clothes. There you go. I don't know about that being so good, but I guess that's all right. Genesis 1:7. There had never been there was a great amount of water in the atmosphere as far as vapor. The Bible talks a lot about in the beginning there was a lot of water. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters, and God said, let there be light, and there was light, and evening and morning was the first day. The Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Yes. The first thing that was there was the waters. Yes. And then He separated those waters above from the waters below, so we believe there was probably a vapor canopy around the earth that protected the environment from harmful radiation. The good radiation came through that needed to do the work for the plants and do the work for everything else, but all the harmful stuff was caught up there in the atmosphere, like the UVB and UVC stuff, or UVA, I guess UVB. All right, then Genesis 7:19-20 says there were mountain ranges before the flood, probably 6,000 to 7,000 feet high. Genesis 1:9 says let all the waters be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear. If water was gathered together in one place, the dry land had to come out in another place that was equally unique. If it's a unique pile of water over here, there's a unique pile of land over here, right? There you go.
We're going to show Pangea in a minute. It's that one.
We're going to show Pangea in a minute. People, there were lush forests at that time. How do we know that? Because the fossil record is full of the evidence showing that there were lush lepidodendron, lepidofolios, all these fossil fern trees, all these ferns that grew along the ground, cycads and everything else. I mean, and also deciduous trees and conifers and all that kind of stuff. We had ecological zonation going on. We had the stuff down here in the swamps that was growing, and we had the stuff on top of the mountains that was growing. You had all these zones that things could grow in. Everything was here before the flood that would produce every living thing that we have today was here before the flood. That is a concept, by the way, of creation science. And then carbon dioxide. We talked about this in the first thing. If you have a lot of plants, people, you have to have a lot of carbon dioxide because plants require carbon dioxide. If there was 3 times as many plants, there had to be a proportionally greater amount of carbon dioxide. At least. And we go on that basis too.
Yeah, so if you look and see back to that slide, you say, well, my goodness, I thought Ararat was about 17,000 foot tall. How come we only have these small 6,000, 7,000 foot? Well, you'll see in a minute when we get ready to show you everything, everything was pretty flat, and they could easily migrate and didn't have the big mountains. But Mount Ararat is a volcano. And Dr. Ball has been there and gone up on a helicopter, and he saw pillar lava. And pillar lava is lava that's formed underwater. So these are volcanoes that were growing during the flood. It's my opinion that God used that as a perch and let this mountain grow on up, put the ark at the top, and that way they weren't jostled around by these big tsunamis. And it was a mild environment, and also probably a lot of hibernation from the animals and so forth. God took care of those even on the ark.
Perfectly logical scenario.
With a little perch.
Perfect logical scenario.